6:14, time now for business news, and we say good morning to Mike Eppel with the latest. And the Bank of Canada, as we know, Mike, likely going to be raising interest rates today. That's what's expected, and that's what we've been talking about for the 8th straight time.
Yep, the cost of borrowing effectively tomorrow morning after today's interest rate announcement, Tammie, will be more expensive, likely by another 0.25%. That is the market expectation, which would be the 8th interest rate increase in a row for the central bank, one of the fastest tightening of policy on record, really, when we consider a year ago interest rates, the benchmark was down to 1%. This morning, as of today, it could be up to around 4.5%. The big question is, is this affecting inflation? Because that is the whole goal of the Bank of Canada, raising interest rates, trying to slow the economy and pull inflation down, tip the supply-demand metrics. And that means, cooling the job market, maybe tipping the economy into a recession. We've seen the effects on the, real estate market for the most part from the interest rate increases so far. And not much else, really. Inflation's still above 6%. And the big question is the Bank of Canada actually losing the messaging, I suppose, because its latest survey of consumers and business indicated that even with all of these interest rate increases, a lot of people think that inflation will remain stubbornly high. And then you kind of get this disconnect between what interest rates are doing and what the Bank of Canada is trying to accomplish. So you're going to hear today, as soon as we get that interest rate policy announcement, whether or not the Bank of Canada will now go on a pause, maybe see how all these interest rates are affecting the economy. And then you'll hear the political rancor out of all of this, people saying they've raised rates too far. You're hitting so many parts of the economy making borrowing costs too expensive, forcing people to take on too much debt. It's going to be a very interesting decision today, an announcement by the central banking governor, Tiff Macklem.
All right, and that's coming down just after 10 o'clock this morning,
Indeed.
Of course. Moving on to the Rogers-Shaw deal, it looks like one hurdle has been cleared again for our parent company here at City and BT.
Yeah, Federal Court of Appeal dismissing outright the Competition Bureau's challenge of the Competition Tribunal's approval of the Rogers-Shaw deal. Basically didn't hardly even hear much in the way of arguments, dismissed it pretty much outright yesterday. So this transaction, which has been in the works since March of 2021, now moves to the Industry Canada level for approval. And Industry Minister François-Philippe Champagne, the Industry Canada had previously said no to this deal, but that was before Rogers and Shaw proposed to sell the Freedom Mobile assets to Videotron to effectively create a fourth major competitor in the wireless space in the country. So we'll see how this goes and how quickly Industry Canada makes its announcement or decision on the Rogers-Shaw transaction, which is worth about $25 billion. And of course, Rogers is the parent of this TV station.
All right. And you talked about it yesterday here on BT. You joined us a little later in the show talking about ticket prices with Madonna and what you have seen and getting hit with some hard questions here. A lot of the executives from Ticketmaster as well as Live Nation about this monopoly that seems to be growing.
And it was kind of cringy as watching these senators invoke Taylor Swift lyrics.
Oh, no, stop.
Oh, yeah, a lot of I'm the problem, it's me, and this, that, and the other thing related to Ticketmaster and Live Nation. But look, the bottom line here is that Ticketmaster and Live Nation have almost what is monopoly control of the ticketing and concert venue marketplace. So both sides of the aisle yesterday were saying, might want to break this company up. And what are you going to do about, pricing? And specifically the resale market. Huge discussion about, because the head of Ticketmaster was saying, well, the whole Taylor Swift fiasco was caused by the bots overriding the system. And easy solution, stop reselling tickets. Block the resale of tickets on the Ticketmaster site. Or if you do, sell them or resell them at face value only. No more markups, no more scalping, as what used to be illegal, if I seem to remember, outside of Maple Leaf Gardens back in the day. So, but of course, Ticketmaster doesn't want to do that because they get, the fees on the resale of tickets. So there was a lot of pushback on that side. SeatGeek, one of the smaller competitors in the market, the CEO of that company, saying, yeah, they're too big. We want a larger slice, and maybe we can increase competition. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to spend $500 to see Madonna from the bathroom of.
Well, again, it wasn't as much about the base price for tickets as much as, again, what the resale and the, just the access to ticket prices. The other thing I took away from our conversation yesterday with Sid is apparently I'm not supposed to retweet my own tweets.
Yes. You don't quote tweet yourself.
Apparently I'm supposed to create a
etiquette.
thread. I'm supposed to create a thread, which I don't know how to do.
Okay, well, you know what? You're learning. Sid will teach you. He's on board. All right.
I'm sure he is.
Mike, thanks so much. He'll teach you.
I'll teach him.
He'll teach you. All right.
There you go.
Thanks, Mike. Gas up that snowblower for sure. You're going to need it. All right. Thanks so much.